I'm Bob Carskadon on HailState.com. This is Anthony Craven, the voice of the Mississippi State softball Bulldogs, and get ready for the game here at 3:30 p.m. Central Time at South Alabama in Mobile. Mississippi State and Florida State.
Yes.
We'll get the NCAA regional going. What are you kind of expecting to see today? It's interesting in that it's not, an elimination game of sorts, but it's still a lot on the line.
Exactly. It's the opening game of a regional is so important, as any coach will tell you, Bob, because you want to avoid falling immediately into those elimination games, those loser go home games. So you want to be able to win in game one, so you have the opportunity, if you win game two tomorrow, to not have to play 2 games on Saturday. You get to go into Sunday rested against whoever you're facing in Sunday's championship round. So game one, vital if you want to be able to go through the 4-game tournament and go to a super regional.
I would agree 100%. Now, I don't know much about Florida State. Anthony, I'll ask you.
Sure.
What do you know about the program, the team, the kind of season they're having as far as the opponent from Mississippi State, obviously?
Well, anytime you win your conference regular season championship, you've had a darn good year. Florida State went 18-2 in the ACC, but the ACC this year, I don't know how good of a league they were top to bottom. Certainly not as strong as the SEC. But no one in America was this year.
11 teams in the NCAA tournament.
Exactly, 7 of them hosting. So FSU, a team that won a bunch of games this year. They did have some good weekends where they beat quality opponents, but they also, as good teams will do, feasted on teams who they just had more talent in the ACC at the bottom half of the league. And so I'm really anxious to see what kind of a team FSU has, because it is odd to have a champion from one of the Power 5 leagues not hosting a regional. And FSU's in that odd spot this year.
Now, you mentioned the strength of the SEC in various conferences, but Mississippi State going into the regional, having already played 16 of the 64 teams who are in the big dance, so to speak, and then have beaten 4 of the host teams, 4 of the 16, which is both are pretty astounding numbers and speak a lot to the schedule they've had. As you've watched them, we talked about a lot of big wins, and then also a lot of close losses to many of those good teams as well. I get the impression this is a team sort of ready to break through, if that's a good way to put it.
No, I get the same vibe from as you, Bob. Having watched this team for the entire season this year. Usually I only get a chance to call the SEC games. This year I've been around for the entire season, so I get that same feeling. This is a team battle-tested. As Coach Studeman herself says over and over, and she's right to say it over and over, the schedule that we played this year puts this team in a position to, it's been a regional kind of atmosphere every single weekend. And so this team knows what it takes. And I believe that they're ready to show that the SEC was so good this year that in a regional where you've got ACC, you got Sun Belt, you got SWAC, the SEC team can break through regardless of the seeding.
Now, I get the impression MSU is a team built on strong pitching, strong defense, timely hitting. Is that kind of what you would say the identity of the team is, or maybe in your words, what do you think the identity is?
It all starts with Owen and Becker in the circle, definitely. This team is built around pitching, defense, and speed. You can call it small ball, whatever you want to call it, manufacturing runs. You're right. Not a ton of bats in the lineup. They're going to come up and hit homers and doubles every other at bat. Yes, there are some. But this is a team where they work really hard at plate discipline, getting on base. And once MSU does get on base, one of the best in America at running the bases. So I think that's what's the key. That is going to be the key, not just today, but throughout the entire weekend, Bob, is to get runners on base. And then once State gets runners on, they can create their own scoring opportunities because they run the bases so well.
All right, we'll get Anthony Craven, voice of the Bulldogs. We'll both be at the stadium here in, I guess, 15 minutes or so, judging by the road. I'm really
depends on how much traffic, but it won't take us very long, hopefully.
So you guys make sure and tune in and watch 3:30 Mississippi State and Florida State. If you're in Circle, by the way, stop by Davis Wade, watching on the Jumbotron. Appreciate you chatting with me, and keep up with us here on HailState.com.